Hello, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. I am energized. I slept well. I went for a run. My arms are still on fire. They still feel like they're about to explode 2 days later after rock climbing, but that is what it is, right? Ugh. I feel good. I feel ready to stream. I feel ready to learn. We're going to do some studying today. Sure. Minoshi. You've not had a day so far? That's fair. Your time zone is funny. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. I really appreciate it. 22 months in a row. That is very generous of you. Here's my... I guess I don't really need my pencils too much. Can we get some tickers in chat? Alright. Sivir. We're talking about Sivir today. Champs rising in priority a lot. I finally read the patch, by the way. So a few days ago, I came back to the game, read the patch. Dragon values going through the roof. We like 80 carries who can shove. Sivir is an 80 carry you can shove. So now when the rework came out, obviously we kind of expected her to have some weaknesses still. 500 range kind of blows. She's probably kind of at the mercy of what she can spell shield. But even so, like, you know, just baseline as a macro tool, the champion does a lot. It's our job today to figure out where Sivir performs well, what matchups she's good into, what matchups she's bad into. Because if Sivir is becoming, like, one of the most important 80 carries in the game alongside Kalista, then we need to figure out how to answer her. You know, and so far, of all the really, really strong 80 carries that have existed over the past few months, like, Sivir's the one I've been least afraid of, to be honest. So here we are. We're going to build a matchup chart. We're probably not going to finish the entire thing today. We're only doing the common matchups today, so, like, no Cho'Gath, no Xerath, no Veigar, no Karthus, like, none of the really funny ones. Oh, I guess I have to include Neela now, too. Where'd she go? She's down here, right? Yeah. Forgot about Neela. Okay, so yeah, this is where we'll start. This is where we will start. So, if anybody, you know, I think this is actually the first time I've shown off, like, my own matchup scale on stream. So we can talk about this for just a moment so we can, like, so you guys can understand, like, the nuances between these tiers. It's pretty self-explanatory as a whole. A trivial matchup is a matchup that, like, if you're in this matchup, you are probably going to win the game, like, immediately. It is the hardest of hard counter picks, ones that correspond to an unplayable matchup on the other side. There's not a lot of these in the game, but it sucks when you end up in one of them. Favorable matchups are matchups where you are expected to generate a lead, where you are likely to come out on top. +1 can swing in either direction, but one champion has a much easier time. So, like, if Sivir has a +1 into, like, Varus, then either one of them can win lane, but it's easier for Sivir to execute. An even matchup, no one's expected to get a lead. A skill matchup, probably volatile. Anyone can get a lead. A support matchup, this isn't the 80 carry only thing. It is an even matchup that gets swung entirely by the support matchup. So we'll find, like, Varus has a lot of these. And then, of course, hard corresponds to +1, unfavorable to favorable, unplayable to trivial, that sort of thing. It's pretty easy to understand. Just putting things into charts like this is how I best understand them. So, how do you guys want to start? What do we see here? In solo queue, please don't play Sivir. Oh, okay, we better not pick this champion. Don't pick that in solo queue. In comp, Sivir needs a lot of Coolio scaling conditions, a lot of protection. Well, not necessarily, because if you pick Sivir just as a macro tool, then she doesn't really need anything. Right? If you drop Sivir into a 1-3-1 comp, she doesn't really care what's around her. By the way, all of this is with adblock active. Like, it's just stopped working. It's very frustrating. Sivir's the only champ you can play disc golf with? True. Okay, where do we want to start? We've got to start with the key point. So, whenever I have a champion here, by the way, yeah, the purpose isn't updated. She did change a bit in her midscope. We need to generate a key point. The key point of a matchup is like the one most important thing for a champion that determines like, or that is most likely to determine whether they have a good matchup or a bad matchup. So like, if you look at Samira and you look at Samira's direct AD carry matchups, a lot of them correspond to the quality of her W. With Ezreal, like, what did I write for Ezreal's key points? Performs worst into all-in duelists who can fight him before he scales, but he avoids unplayable matchups. That's good, okay. And then, like, I think I have one for Kalista. Varus is, like, you know, tends to bully other hyper carries to superior stats, but in exchange he's much more vulnerable, so that tells you something about, like, his Draven matchup or his Tristana matchup. I think AD carry matchups are something that is not talked about enough because everybody always focuses on the support matchup for bot lane. And yes, it is likely that a support matchup can offset a bad AD carry matchup, but like this stuff is still important to know, right? That's why I'm focusing on it for right now. That's why it's been kind of a long-term project for me. So I'm thinking the best thing for me to do, we find an AD carry in Challenger or Grandmasters or Masters, like someone known, reputable. Actually, Double Lift is right here. Maybe there's some Sivir games in here. No. Okay. We'll keep looking. We're gonna find a high-level AD carry, one like somebody that is a known player, somebody that can be relied on to be consistent. Is Prismal an AD carry? Yeah, he is. Oh, wait a minute. This is a lot of support games. Never mind. Yeah, Prisma, the Challenger AD carry. I bet we'll get some really good data out of that. Just trying to find some. I have my list of like hey, there's Larmac. I have my list of junglers that I use for VOD review there, but I don't have a list of AD carries yet. I probably should have prepped this in advance. Basically, I just want raw Sivir footage, like, as a replay, not a comp game, so I can watch Sivir's lane phase, like, the entire time. I know Sneaky's only, like, low masters right now, but maybe we just use Sneaky. Oh my god, who are even... Do I know any Pro AD Carries accounts? I don't know Hansama's account. I don't know Berserker's accounts. I don't know Danny's account. What's up, Darian? I don't care. We're just looking for some Sivir footage right now. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna... We're just gonna use Sneaky. As long as we can find a Sivir game. Okay, perfect. And this is a... It's a really fast one, but it's going to give us, like, a better sense of her lane phase. Yeah, okay, it's not. I just want to kind of, like... You know, I haven't sat down to observe Sivir's laning in a while. Oh my god, it's a Talia support. Because, like, the way I view her, I still don't view her as, like, super strong early. She more just kind of neutralizes the lane and perma wave clears, but, you know, her actual dueling power is not nearly as bad as it used to be with her W steroid now. You guys are weirdos. Oh! There we go. Okay, so immediately what comes to mind, what's probably going to swing a Sivir matchup most. What I would assume swings a Sivir matchup is her 500 auto attack range and the quality of her spell shield. I would imagine those are the most important details, unless Sivir is just really, really, really good at neutralizing a lane.
To Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
It's just sitting under turret. Okay, whatever.
Minions have spawned.
So I just want to watch. Last time I played Sivir, guys, I started W into Lucian Nami. It was so cringe. Don't do what I did. Whoa, what? Like, I would imagine Talia to achieve push pretty consistently. Never mind. She's focusing on pure damage here. Now Sivir's Q still has the damage fall off if you hit a minion. I don't think Sivir needs, like, significant combat power to be a laning threat. I guess he didn't even try to contest the wave because he knew he would never win push with Yuumi. I guess that's why he started throwing Qs randomly at Talia. And then, of course, like, just look at this. The wave's not taking too much damage from an early game W, but...
First blood.
I wonder how much Caitlyn pressure this shuts down. Maybe for the sake of laning, Sivir's auto attack range really doesn't matter that much. No, but it has to if there's something high pressure. Because remember, I'm watching Ezreal Talia. This is not a high pressure lane at all. They're just trying to scale. They're trying to scale for, like, Ezreal Sheen and Talia's, like, level 5 or something like that. Yuumi almost killed. Yeah, so I'm watching. I have to remember that I'm watching Sivir into a lane that's not going to pressure her, where her auto attack range is not going to be, like, a limiting factor, right? I always forget to turn off these alerts before I go on stream. Does anyone in chat actually play Sivir? I used to play Sivir. In, like, Season 7, I was a big Sivir player. Just a smidgen. Okay, cool. Then I would encourage you to chime in with, like, your own experience. See if I can translate some of that to higher elo games. I wonder if Sivir would actually get thrown by that combo. If the spell shield's not really precise. I guess the precision of your spell shield matters for your matchup too, because, like... Oh my god, Yuumi. So what do you do in this position? You're just completely I mean, I'm probably just going to speed through the early lane phase, to be honest. There's not going to be anything that can really happen. Nobody can pressure each other. I guess I just want to watch Sivir, like, scrapping with someone in the early game. It's only 20% attack speed, but that's still, like, that's not bad. Because, like, how much does Noon Quiver? Noon Quiver has 15. Or your W gives you more attack speed than Noon Quiver does.
Killing spree.
We're just watching like the usual ebb and flow, obviously. In this 1v2, no Yumi present, like you would never really look to be fighting stuff. Oh, but he is getting engaged on too. Actually, I kind of want to watch how that goes again. Just a little more slowly. She can't fight back. Well, she can fight back. I mean, both of them got chunked to under half in a 1v2, but like not many actual W-empowered auto attacks came out there. It was like okay, so there's a Q. There's the W attack speed. The steroid is being wasted because he has to just kite it out. He must run away. Yeah, so that was... Obviously, in a normal situation, people would not take that... that many tower shots. Oh my god, Yumi. Okay, this is the part I struggle the most on with Sivir. Like, just my wave has been all fucked up by my ricochets, and I just cannot figure out how to farm it. I guess it's actually just Q, huh? Yeah, we're in this weird position where, like, that W looks like it should give you a lot of combat power, but your range limitations probably make a lot of situations where you can't profit from that, huh? So what's short range and weak early? What is short range and weak early? Vayne? Do we have a good Vayne matchup? I know we're an auto attacker into Vayne, but... Tumble beats Boomerang Blade. Spell Shield beats Condemned. Final Hour Tumble beats all of Sivir's damage. Except Boomerang Blade. If Sivir wins a 50-50. I don't know, that doesn't sound like a winning matchup. It sounds like a matchup where neither of those champions really gets... I mean, Vayne gets pressured by the wave clear, but... Because Vayne is like a worst in roll shover. No, not worst in roll when Senna exists. But like, Vayne's wave clear is not good. It's why she's stronger top lane than bot lane right now. Do you think Vayne has too much threat if she has space to run down the Sivir? Yeah, that's kind of like what swings Vayne matchups typically. Silver Bolts is probably a better steroid than Ricochet passive. So yeah, you really cannot value Ricochet passive that highly, because like even... Okay, what else? What else would be short-ranged and low threat early? Because we can't say Neela's low threat early. Because Neela has a dominant lane phase, then a power trough, then a 3-item spike. Samira is not low threat early. Twitch has a good matchup into Sivir. Well, Sivir has no good spell shield into the Twitch matchup. Like, you have to be really, really fast to respond to a Twitch E with your spell shield. Like it's inhuman reaction time. It has to be like a raw prediction. Okay, maybe Sivir's not meant to get a lead early. Like, maybe Sivir's not meant to get a combat lead. Because, look, even in a low-pressure map... I mean, I know there's a Yumi here, and that warps things a little bit. Kai'Sa, too much threat. How does the spell shield interaction work there? Is that one bullet of a Cathian Rain, or is it the entire thing? Because I'm just concerned about... You know, when I hear Sivir Kaisa, if Silver Bolts is a problem, then Second Skin also has to be a problem. So it's probably just one bullet, so the Spell Shield isn't great into a Cathian Rain. The Spell Shield is great into Void Seeker. Yep, so same brain cell. But Kaisa, I mean, Kaisa's not, like, weak early, especially if she's doing the Serrated Dirk Rush.
Now you're ready to prowl.
Yeah, so guys, this is actually pretty embarrassing. I actually had the Sivir Spell Shield interaction into Alistar wrong in my head. For some reason, I thought it was like a 50-50. Because I don't know why I thought the Alistar WQ cancel, like, buffered it to... to where the W technically doesn't hit. No, Alistar just WQs, Sivir Spell Shield blocks W, and then she gets knocked up. I'm like, oh, obviously it's a 50-50. Alistar and Sivir have to play a mind game with each other, where it's like, if Alistar just presses W and guesses wrong, like, oh... Plus Sivir's working in Alistar's effective range, like... Okay, interesting. So then maybe the matchups are based on... how well you deny your opponent from progressing their own win condition, thanks to your wave clear. Because, like, if you're watching how Sneaky's playing this, he's very low impact for much of the lane, and then there was, like, one big moment where he saved up his mana, and he gets to, like, Giga Shove and take a recall. Okay. Ali is not ball sack water. He's more valuable than Leona in the right Alistar situation. Basically, the problem with initiators right now is just that so many of them die before they accomplish anything. But yeah, no, you're right. Alistar's a great answer to Sivir. If Sivir's picked often, maybe you consider Alistar more often. And Alistar's ultimate is a much better steroid than Leona W or Nautilus W. So.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, the durability patch, like, really made support tanks unhappy. I think, this is my hot take, by the way. I think we're moving into a support mage meta. I don't know if anybody's going to catch on to that, but I think Brand is going to become very good. I think Karma is back to max priority. I don't think Talia is like... Oh, right, this game ends in 15 minutes. I forgot about that.
A summoner has disconnected.
Fragility patch.
A summoner has disconnected.
Yeah, okay. Oh, 12-14. Okay, so... Is there another Sivir game in here? Sneaky plays too much. Too many champions. The Scorch Brand is schnasty. Let me hit a lick. Yeah, no, Brand. I think Xerath. Rumble. I think Rumble support is rising in power. Especially if Callista. Especially if Callista is becoming one of the most important AD carries in the game again. Then Rumble's a great partner for her. You summoned me, yeah. Well, because, like, I think the best way to play is going to be Dragon Aggro. So... Oh no, what's up? My Azir support's not... No. Your Azir support stonks are not rising. That champion does not have the early impact to get to to get first Drake. Yeah, Comet, 3 points E, Q Max Rumble. Okay, we gotta look for more 80 carry players. Don't look at my rank, by the way. I'm leveling up at the gym before I level up in League. I went for a run today, guys. I just want to put one more Sivir game up if I can find an AD carry player. Tenacity, top laner, right. Just trying to remember who everyone is. Jungler. That's Biofrost. Who can smoke CT? Does anyone have any pro players accounts? Does anybody know, like, what their account names are? Damn. I don't recognize any names here. Oh. You only watch Champions Queue where they have their real names? Yeah, I wish I could get Champions Queue replays. Could you imagine if we all had access to that? Oh. Why doesn't this region have that? Okay, either way, let's just start watching some, like, comp games or something. Here. Yep. Sivir Zeri, Sivir Senna, Sivir Seraphine. All of this stuff. Oh, Gumayushi played her? Yeah, oh, no VOD yet. Is this too new? No, it should be up. Let's find this. It's T1 versus KT Rolster. Quiet. T1 versus KT. There we go. We're going to find the Sivir game. We're just going to kind of see... Here it is. It's right here already. I hope they show us early lane. So let's get back to it. The 500 auto range limits Sivir's combat power, but maybe that's not actually... Yeah. So that would... I think that would only be a big matchup factor in, like, high threat short range lanes. No, that's got to be a matchup factor, like, forever. It limits what Sivir's able to do. Okay, here's a hot take. Does Sivir have good matchups? Or is everything, like, even at best? Okay, that was sexy from Faker. Because, like, what would she beat? I'm always good at identifying what would make a matchup unfavorable, but... What would she beat? Is she actually just the purest form of neutralizer? Like, I have to imagine she's fine into Kalista. Like, that Kalista sounds like it could be up. No, because then Kalista has... Because then Sivir has to play a mind game against Rend. You never know when Kalista's about to Rend, and Kalista could just choose to not Rend. So that interaction is always Kalista favored. So, I mean, a positive Sivir matchup might be something where Sivir consistently survives lane and then just invalidates what you want to do mid-game because her shove is too oppressive. Like, is that right? Because all the matchups that sound good are, like, support matchups. Where Sivir Spell Shield is just really good into certain supports, not AD carries. If we go back to our list here, I'm going to put away LCK Twitch chat. I always hate them. So it's like, okay. Sivir's a really good spell shield interaction into Ashe. There's a good one into Jhin. There's a good one... Okay, so there's a good one into utility carries. You kind of picture everything as being able to smush her. I think that's probably a little too... extreme. That's so weird how we can have like a really excellent high win rate champion like this and the meta favors her and she doesn't, and she might not actually crush any matchups. The Frost Shot definitely be... Okay, does Fleet of Foot overcome Frost Shot? That would be the big question in the Ashe Sivir matchup. Ashe has better AA range. The Q steroid is rarely... I mean, the Q steroid is not better than Sivir's Ricochet. Okay, why is Jhin slamming autos in anybody's face? Why are you just getting shot by Jhin? You have to be playing Jin's dance. Like Jhin keeps trying to move in and out, in and out, in and out. And obviously you're going to hit a shot here and there, but... Does... Okay, there's an interaction that I'd like to know right now. I can't type. Oh my god. There we go. Because obviously Spell Shield beats Spittle, but... No, it doesn't beat Arcane Barrage. Yeah, okay, so Samira beats that matchup too. It becomes kind of a mind game, question mark? I mean, no, any matchup that forces Tristana to delay her bomb is actually big. Because then it's so much harder for Tristana to actually get it stacked. The problem is we can't say just E her bomb. I mean, it's like, let's read my Samira matchup into Sivir, right? Samira, or not into Sivir, into Tristana. Because Samira should be, I mean, this is before I've really added hard and +1, so I might have to revisit some of these. Tristana cannot reliably dive onto Samira. She isn't actively CC'd. W deletes Tristana's bomb. Without bomb, Samira heavily outdamages. This becomes a mind game as Tristana can choose to jump, hold bomb, then attack. However, the bomb stacks more slowly and Samira is already dealing damage. True. Okay, so then this is different though, because Samira immediately doing damage and forcing Tristana to wait is so much worse. It's much higher damage than Sivir already doing damage because Tristana had to wait. It's so much more damage if Samira is doing this. Tristana's ultimate can cancel Samira's. Samira can still stack up another one. If Samira initiates onto Tristana directly, her core engages combo uses Trist when Tristana needs to place her bomb in order to trade back, so Trist has no choice but to jump out. So Samira has all the agency. So, yeah, so... But it's that agency thing. Like, that's key for the matchup. So I don't think... Just considering how that would look if Tristana stalls her bomb, I don't think that's as damning as when she does it against Samira. So they're still winning matchups. And it's also easier for Tristana's support to force out Sivir's Spell Shield than it would be to force out a Samira W. Right? Maybe not. Maybe it's about the same. Because I'm thinking, like, for a hook, yeah. A hook would do both. Okay, let's go back to the Sivir page. I think we're just about ready to start writing something down. Sivir's a low interaction champion. Sivir is Sivir's for sure a low interaction champion. So I would have thought immediately, like, she doesn't have an amazing matchup into Draven. But then actually, you can block Stand Aside, you can block Whirling Death, you don't have to interact with him. No, Sivir Draven is not that bad for Sivir, huh? Interesting. That's not how I expected that matchup to go, but thinking about it, yeah. Oh, does this cost mana now? No, it doesn't. I forgot if they changed. At some point on PBE, it did cost mana. No, it doesn't. These Eclipse builders, that's funny. So where's Draven? Okay, well, statistically, in solo queue, Draven still crushes Sivir. I would imagine in coordinated play, where things are less random, I would imagine Sivir probably does okay. Getting outranged by Draven is actually pretty bad, but... Okay, let's take a peek at this game again. We're just gonna keep watching the LCK stuff while we talk. I mean, I'm just gonna start taking some notes, I think. Just write down my jot note, like bullet points, so I can collect my thoughts before I put something on my OneNote. Okay. Sivir MU's 500 AA range is... Oh, I'm off camera, sorry. 500 AA range is a limiting factor, but she's not encouraged to fight in lane. Can't think of a low range lane in which W steroid matters too much. Spell shield quality is huge. I just noticed there's a Skarner in this game. That is based. I'm a Skarner enjoyer right now. I wonder then if Sivir's Ricochet steroid actually matters more into high range matchups. She probably shits on Varus. If she can, like, match his attack speed and then beat his spells. Now, I want everyone to keep in mind that whatever we decide today is literally going to be purely theory. There's obviously going to be, like, numbers, things that I've missed. So, we'll have to update these matchups over time. I'm just trying to get, like, a baseline foundation. Oh, I wonder if... Yeah, a lot of support matchups to break stalemates. I feel like Sivir has a lot of stalemates. But funnily enough, I don't think Varus is one of them. Because if someone only slightly outranges Sivir and is weaker than her early, what she's going to do, she's going to press Q, she's going to proc her passive, she's going to run forward, she's going to trade like an auto attack or two. Assuming that she's given the space to move. This Zeri Sivir is very even so far at 11 minutes. Okay, I guess... Yeah, I guess you just have to watch for Spell Shield, and then... Who gets screwed? Yeah, who gets screwed by a scaling war? Does Sivir Spell Shield swing something, and if it doesn't, who scales better? Oh, I think... Guma might get collapsed on... Yeah, there it goes. Burn Flash. And Ghost. People that aren't Jinx. Sivir Spell Shield sounds pretty good in the Jinx matchup. But then Jinx is auto range, right? So Sivir's not incentivized to, like, force. Jinx can't force onto Sivir. Oh my god, everything's a support matchup with Sivir. Not everything, but like... There's so many support matchups for Sivir. Okay, let's start working through these. I think I've seen enough of Sivir and Zeri farming it out to start to understand. Let's do this one at a time. I'm going to start with I'm going to start with Varus, just because Varus is a champion that I've worked with a lot lately. Well, first we have to write Sivir's key point for her matchups. Varus would be like, for example, Varus's value comes from a superior range, strong AS steroids, and single target burst, which tends to help him bully other hyper carries at the cost of greater vulnerability. This tells you a lot about what Varus beats, right, and what Varus loses to. Although I also have to point out that, you know, Varus also has a ton of support matchups. Ashe, Varus, swings a lot. Aphelios, Varus. Yeah, I really didn't write a lot of hard or stuff like that. So the key point of Sivir, at least our first draft of it, must be Sivir's matchups are swung by the quality of her spell shield as well as the scaling in a purely farm-focused... Actually, how do I phrase this? So actually, Caitlyn's Sivir would not be that great early because Sivir can't keep up with Caitlyn's wave clear. So it would be hard for like levels... It would probably be hard until like first base or second base. It'd be hard until noon, probably. Maybe for the entire lane phase, actually. Huh. How to make League boring 101 doing homework for it. This is the fun part of League. What are you talking about? This is the fun part of League. Look, Liz, we're making a tier list. Okay, if it's any consolation, guys, on Tuesday we're doing a meme tier list. We're ranking champions based on how well they can drive. So it's like, okay, so yeah, key question for Sivir matchups then. How good is her spell shield? Can she neutralize? How much value does she gain from neutralizing? So who do we start with? Varus? Varus. Yeah, let's start with Varus. If you play AD champs or a Zir, you can actually see CS. Yeah, you were CSing on hard mode playing LeBlanc. Okay. Now we start to look here. I guess I'm looking for a Sivir Varus, but I'm never going to find a Sivir Varus. Unless I sort by Varus! Because Sivir's meta. Come on. Oh wait, this is 12-11 now. Yeah, wow, this champion never sees play. Okay, well, there is a channel I like to look at, like, just for an introduction to the matchup. It's one of those, like, VOD shitter channels. Varus. Oh my god. And because nobody plays Varus, it's all from Varus's point of view. And so that means that Varus is going to get fed in this matchup. He's also running Electrocute, so this isn't a standard game at all. We're gonna have to full theory craft this one, guys. We're gonna have to full theory craft it. Okay. Even so, okay. So what does Spell Shield be, right? Domisum replay? That's a different channel. Sivir Janna versus Varus. Yeah, here we go. Okay, thank you. Oh, Varus Twitch, I just realized. So, what's going to happen? Oh my god, it's a fucking Comet Varus. Why are people still running Poke Varus over, like, on-hit Varus right now? I guess on-hit Varus is, like, much higher risk, but whatever. So, okay. Spell Shield beats Q, it beats E, it beats R, but it only beats one of them. So once Varus hits 6, Sivir's not allowed to Spell Shield randomly anymore, right? He might be AP, bro. Don't disrespect. True. Honestly, AP Varus kind of slaps. What is that Sivir skin? That is... What's it called again? It's Solar Eclipse Sivir, right? Is this another automated channel, Darian? Honestly, the Twitch is kind of funny. Like, just because Twitch does. Actually, why would we not start with Twitch? Why would we not start with Twitch? We already generally know how that matchup goes. Like, this is really bad for Sivir. So it's like... Actually, Sivir's no good E. Sivir's not get outscaled. Twitch doesn't care about Sivir's wave clear because he just comes from the side. So Sivir can't just... And Sivir has to walk up to the wave to clear it. Right? So actually, Twitch is probably one of the best answers into Sivir. Sivir has no consistent spell shield into Twitch. Blocking his E requires a Mega Mind prediction or pure luck. Since neither champion... Actually, does neither champion pressure each other early? I don't think that's right. Sivir cannot pressure Twitch early in combat. Oh my god, I just pressed a button. 12, 14. There we go. Sivir cannot pressure Twitch early in combat, giving him free scaling. Can Twitch pressure Sivir early, though? I think actually, yes. In mid-game. Yeah, no, I cannot see a way in which Sivir, as long as supports are drafted properly, right? I cannot see a way in which Sivir is, like, expected to beat Twitch. That said, I think you're probably okay to play this matchup in comp. You're just kind of on a timer. Unless Twitch prays too hard on the 1-3-1. That's big. That's big, actually. Okay. So we're going to put Twitch up here in unfavorable. Sivir doesn't want to play into Twitch, and we know that. Who next? Who next? I guess we should start thinking about Varus again. I love this song, by the way. This is one of the session's vibes. What's it called? Funk Groove. That's what it's called. I'll keep that one in mind. I just like the bass line. It's kind of hard to hear at this volume, but... But the last time I heard this, I was like blasting it on a speaker. It just came on randomly in my Vibes playlist. And the bass just like shook my bedroom. Okay. Honestly, Kalista is a really important champion to figure out, like, ASAP, given this meta. Do I have notes for Kalista matchups? I do! Yes! Kalista relies on her early pressure. If significant slows nullify her early pressure, she loses all value. That's, okay, yeah, but that's a little, that's kind of hyperbole. Because Kalista doesn't lose all value anymore from being slowed. I guess these are the keywords here. Significant slows nullify her early pressure. Because, like, obviously, if Kalista gets out of lane and she doesn't have some lead, then... Okay, so let's think about Sivir Kalista, right? It's hard to hit Kalista with your Q. You cannot spell shield a rend. So the only thing Sivir would have going for her... Will she out... She will out DPS late. I don't know if she has to interact with Kalista. Because Kallista's also got only 525 range, so if Kalista hops like once at Sivir, Sivir escapes with Fleet of Foot. And then when the wave is in Sivir's favor, when it's bouncing back, when it's bouncing back to Sivir, or towards Kalista, then Kalista just cannot match Sivir's push. For the sake of Dragon aggro, that matchup would swing based on support matchup. For the direct 1-for-1 or 1v1, I would say it's probably hard for Sivir. Just because Kalista has all the winning interactions, right? So Sivir wants to avoid fighting Kalista. Sivir has the means to avoid fighting Kalista often enough. Sivir's spell shield would always be saved for Kalista's support. It would take a mistake for Sivir, but it is easier for Sivir to make a mistake than it is for Kalista to make a mistake. Otherwise, it becomes... I mean, you don't want it to be a farm lane, because Kalista's fine with a farm lane if it means she's getting push and securing Drakes, and if her push is securing a Rift Herald. But yeah, I can't just shake the idea that Kalista has every winning interaction, you know? Kalista. I'm not gonna rate it yet, but Q loses to Hops. This is from Sivir's point of view, right? Q loses to Hops. Rend cannot be shielded consistently. Kalista can always wait it out. Is Kalista's damage higher than Sivir's early? Yeah. I should actually, as we're discovering stuff about Sivir, I should actually start filling out the bullet overview too. However, Sivir can also just dodge combat with Kalista. I'm gonna swap that. Kalista jumps forwards. Sivir's passive is usually enough to escape. I would imagine it's 2, because Kalista jumps forwards, hits once. I would imagine it's 2. Actually, no, Rend. Kalista cannot match Sivir's push when the wave is bouncing. I guess we can't use pronouns here. We have to specify who. And then Sivir outscales in team fights. Okay. So I think I have to conclude. As long as you guys can hear me loudly enough. I think I have to conclude that... I think that's how the matchup goes. I think that makes sense. Sivir's the one who has to play well, but both of them can win. I wonder if that's I mean, it's Callista and solo queue. I don't know what the data will look like here. Yeah, actually, look at that. It's almost dead even, but... I also wonder how many Callista I mean, we're in Plot Plus right now. Some of the Callista players could just be, like, horrendously awful. Sivir's easier to play, but susceptible to being punished by Callista. I think that's how it goes. Okay, okay. Actually, we were talking about Vayne earlier. Remember how we said Vayne probably just runs down Sivir? Look at that. Why am I wearing headphones right now? I just realized. I'm not doing anything that requires me to have headphones on. I'm putting my speaker on. So, I was checking out my arm again because I woke up. It's still aching from rock climbing. It's still very firm and hard, and it developed a bruise. It got sprained or like strained or pushed or just whatever so hard that it started bruising. It's not a very big bruise, but ouch. I'm feeling the burn, guys. I'm gonna be as cracked as I am jacked. Sivir seems... I mean, I would imagine Sivir's like... kind of universally a champion that... Oh, it's like Victor! Oh, it's like Victor! Oh my god, it's almost exactly like Victor! In terms of how she controls waves. Where in theory, she can just Giga Shove. But she doesn't have the mana to keep that up. So she actually has to allow you to push into her, build up a wave, and then just completely overwhelm you. Oh, it's exactly 80 carry Victor. It's the same wave clear pattern. That doesn't work. That's surprising. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, that actually... that means a lot for me figuring out how this works. I kind of want to back. We're going to go... I mean, I guess we'll click this channel. Many uploads per day. Yeah. Sivir. Let's do Sivir Jhin. Let's do Sivir Jhin. Same skin. Everyone loves this skin. I like how it shows both champions' runes here. Okay, Jhin. Jhin. Actually, if I can even find a professional game where... I guess Jin's kind of out of meta. What the hell happened here? Does anyone see this Kha'Zix 80 carry? Okay, surely it's Kha'Zix jungle, Gragas mid, Seraphine 80 carry, Pyke support, right? And the order's just all mixed up. Or it's like all their players swapped or something. Oh my god. I am looking for a Jhin game here. I'm not finding one. The curse of a popular champion, right? Or of a meta champion. Oh, hang on a second. I want to pull my... yeah, it is on this stream. On the screen, rather. This one. Oh, but I used my freaking hotkeys by mistake. I had a ping that I needed to check because it was from my team. What I read is it does not make me smile. It's okay. So what's going on with the Jhin matchup? Sivir has excellent quality spell shields. Jin's a caster. W is a high impact spell shield. Q is a high impact spell shield. Yes, Jhin has excellent... Okay, so Jhin is probably one of the better champions at neutralizing Sivir's rebound push. I also have to think about how the mid to late game is going to go too, right? Like, I have a bad habit of just tunneling in on how lane dynamics go. Mid-game, they do different things, right? Like, mid-game, it's not Jin's job to carry a team fight the way it is Sivir's. Jhin definitely wants to be snowballing. But does Sivir cut off his snowball? They have to lock down Sivir's support instead. So it kind of removes a target. It removes a target from Jhin. Remember, these are vacuum matchups, though. It's not like it's not like we're ever factoring in what the specific support is. Obviously, specific supports change the dynamics a lot. Like, Blitzcrank Jhin would probably threaten Sivir, actually. Even though Sivir... Like, a Sivir can block one, but she can't block both. Unless a spell shielded... Oh! That's a Jhin-specific interaction I need to know. Does spell shielding a spell stop you from getting a captive audience mark? How does that work? Jhin. Where is Mr. Jhin? I forgot how my alphabet works. There it is. Okay. Or Deadly Flourish, my bad. Champions that trigger a Lotus Trap or are damaged by Jhin or allied champions are marked. So no, Sivir's not damaged. Sivir's Spell Shield, if Sivir Spell Shields anything, it doesn't allow a Deadly Flourish mark to go onto her. That's huge. No, so Jhin Blitzcrank would just be fucked. Like, that's not a lane into Sivir. Oh, okay. So let's think about this then. Let's think about this. We're not gonna rate it, we're just gonna take our notes, right? Sivir has excellent quality spell shields. Blocking any of Jin's abilities, excluding W. This makes her very slippery against Jhin. Oh my god. And capable of nullifying his fourth shot from ultimate. So she's great at body blocking against Jhin too. She protects her support very well. Next, okay, so now I need to know the shove dynamics, which I need to watch this VOD for. Probably back from the very beginning, and we'll speed it up. This is level 3. Oh, Jhin has a Sona, though, man. That's... Oh, wait, it starts right at the beginning. Jhin has a Sona, and Sivir has Renata. That is such a huge difference in power in early lane. Especially in terms of shove. Like, Jhin is a pretty strong shove champion. But so is Sivir. You can see how she's casting very few abilities on the wave. Actually, she started W. Sivir started W in this matchup. So there are matchups where you get to do that. Ooh. I think there's probably going to be games where like it's worth putting Sona in a subpar matchup. Wait, she's just perma-shoving? Is she going to take an early base? Yes, she is. Okay. No? So what are you spending your... I guess she's just going to do it again and spend the rest of her mana? Or she's trying to zone Jin off these creeps because Sona's not here? No. Okay, so instead she's just going to allow this to full push back because Sivir will not have the mana to contest all of that. They must be scared of the jungler. Graves must have started top and I wasn't paying attention. Or, actually, no, it was around 420. That's, yeah, around like 410 is when you actually should consider being scared of the jungler again if they started a bot. Okay, so that must be why Sivir chose to allow this to push back. She stayed to deny Jin, realized she couldn't. It's just going to be thinned with auto attacks. And then as it starts bouncing back, she will base for Noon Quiver rather than something like actually low impact. Wait, a freeze? I mean, I guess, yeah, that... Sivir seems like the type of champ... Yeah, see, I was... Exactly what I was about to say just happened. She has to give up creeps while freezing sometimes. Because if you can't cast any of your spells. It was only a one-wave freeze. It's building up the wave. Jin, actually, okay, well, Sona's a healer, so Sona has heals and shields, may be able to hold a larger wave than usual, so they just have to confirm the crash first. There's a Cosmic Shadow to allow them to do this one, too. Okay. Jin did just delete that wave, though. So, from a one-game sample size, from 7 minutes of laning and just seeing how they interact, or how they're interacting with the creeps, both are pretty decent at denying advantages from each other, I guess. Like, Sivir's monster push doesn't really pan out because Jin's so good at thinning it. Sivir's good at thinning Jin's monster push. But would you rather have a neutralized Sivir or a neutralized Jin? I would say Sivir, 100%. Because Jin's utility just doesn't work into her, right? Wave goes back to neutral here, except Sivir's immediately pushing. Oh, it's begun, hasn't it? What is that terrible graphic at the top? I hate that so much. Does it really begin that early? Like level 5 with a Noon Quiver? Did I need to watch Sivir like longer? Like the perm shove really begins that early? Cause if so, like that's stupid bad for Jin. And there's Sivir just blocking a stray Q because they're not going to lock her down here. You kind of have to overwhelm Sivir's spell shield to lock her down, I think. Oh. I mean, the Sona just swings this matchup so much, though, right? Sona's such a weak champion early game. I can't see why you'd want a Sona here. I guess it's solo queue, so. Let's really process what just happened again. Oh my god, because Jin is vulnerable to getting caught way more than Sivir. Yeah, that's true. So basically, it's exceptionally difficult for Jin's team to make plays onto Sivir, because what Jin usually provides is much higher effort, but then Sivir's team can still make plays around bot lane. And Sivir's team can secure Drakes. And Sivir can skirmish early. So yeah, we have absolutely found a winning matchup. I just want to watch how the wave goes from here. Jhin did pick up a return kill, which kind of sucks. This is a terrible, terrible situation for him, though. Like, even though Kha'Zix is dead, the CS gap that has formed from missing all of this is tremendous. Gale Force on the... I like Gale Force. Oh, and now it's impossible for it, because even if something penetrates Sivir's spell shield, now Sivir has Gale Force. So, does she immediately start going ham on this wave? Oh yeah, that starts early. Oh yeah, it's only 12 minutes into the game and Jhin will never have a push again. Okay, well, if Kha'Zix does, I hate locked camera here. This is why I usually prefer to watch my own replays instead of footage like this. Locked camera drives me insane. Not watching the map, I'm just watching Sivir's micro. So, I mean, now we've seen Sivir snowballing. She's actually going Essence Reaver, huh? This is 12-13, right? Yeah, so, okay, actually on this patch, Sivir does have better wave clear than she does on live. Wave clear that only takes a W rather than a Q. Oh, right, yeah, no, that Sivir Swain interaction's fucked. I forgot about that one. I think what happened here is Sivir spell shielded Swain's pull on the way out rather than the way back. Oh no, she just missed. And then spell shielded W rather than Sun ult. That sucks. Either way, I think we're at the point... I'm going to clear this. I think we're at the point where it's reasonable to just conclude this is Sivir favored, but like how Sivir favored is it? How Sivir favored is this? Is this a +1? Is this a plus? Because, like, I'm looking at this, and it's like... It's not like Sivir is just guaranteed to win. It's actually like the exact inverse of the Kalista thing. Where Sivir has all the winning interactions, but... It's not unreasonable for team interference to swing this one. Because I just wrote, it's harder for Jin's team to play around bot. It's not impossible. They just have to target the support. Or they have to, like... Jin has to have a Leona. Or something that would, like, eat Sivir's spell shield but still do damage to her. And then Jin can follow up. Because spell shield isn't just an instant win button against all CC on someone's team. So how winning is this? How Balls. Welcome back, Neo. We just watched Sivir's team make a play onto Jin successfully. We just watched Jin's team make a play on it. I mean, Sivir had to screw it pretty badly, but it was still pretty easy to make a play around her, like onto Renata, right? You'll be back when you can. Okay. That's all good. No, it's gotta be. It's gotta be support. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. So, I mean, this one is obviously, at least at a baseline, Sivir favored. Sivir has the winning matchups. Sivir has the winning 1v1 interactions, but these champions don't find themselves in a 1v1 situation. It's like, yeah, Sivir won't kill Jin, Jin won't kill Sivir. That favors Sivir, except as soon as it becomes a 2v2 again, that because we're watching a Jin Sona, right? What the hell is Sona going to do to Sivir's spell shield? Sona doesn't care. Like, Sivir doesn't care. Sona's not getting on to Sivir, pressuring her to use something. Jin's jungler is Graves. That's not killing Sivir. Yeah, that's not. If Jin's support or jungler restores his laning power by breaking spell shield, he wins. Otherwise, Sivir snowballs out of control. A pure neutral game favors Sivir, but doesn't remove Jin from play. So this has to be a support matchup. This has to be a support. Yeah. Which arguably goes back to our point that maybe Sivir doesn't really have winning matchups. Because even this one, where it sounded like Sivir was going to win every interaction and just be super favored, right? Even this one, Jin doesn't automatically win. Even this one, Jin's not expected to get a lead over Sivir. You know, you're not expected to have a winning lane, you're just expected to have certain windows of shove. We can fact check all of this later. Sorry for bumping my mic. We can fact check all of this later with like practical experience. Samira, maybe. Actually, who do we want to do next? Do we want to do Varus? Do we want to do Vayne? I don't want to do Zeri right now. Zeri's changing so much over and over, and I think that I can't tell if the new change was a gutting or not. Her solo queue win rate's in the dumpster, but her DPS dropped a lot. Chat, could you imagine if Zeri got her auto attack execute before they nerfed her laser? Imagine what AP Zeri would do. MF, Neela, Samira, Senna. Well, MF is favored into Sivir, right? MF ultimate shouldn't even pop spell shield. Neither does E. Q does. I just completely forgot who I was looking for. Almost clicked Master Yi by accident. Because, like, this is... Oh. So, yeah, Spell Shield not blocked. Spell Shield not blocked. Spell Shield blocked. I'm like, see notes? What do you mean? Spell Shields can be used by either target. If it's the primary target, it will not prevent the second shot from bouncing. Okay. Dealing an additional 0 spell damage. Okay, so Misfortune sounds pretty garbage for Sivir. I guess we should actually check out... Or if that's actually like a really favorable matchup, then probably somebody has run it into her recently. Unless we're allergic to Misfortune, which, yeah, for some reason a lot of teams are. Oh, wait, here we go. Okay, how do I find the VOD on this one? This is a match between Elementalist and Enrax on July 21st. July 21st was 10 days ago. That would therefore be this. Elementalist's logo, oh, it's the last game. Okay. Here we go. Okay. And sure enough, Doran's Ring Comet Misfortune. Yeah, okay, good luck, Sivir. I think Sivir just spell shielded the comet, though. Is that what I just saw? Oh my god, and she's W starred into this. How do you interact with the wave? You have Rakan into Karma. Oh, Jesus Christ. That one has to be doomed. Welcome back, Neo. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's funny because you would expect the Comet on Misfortune to be, like, really high value. Except it's one of the few things Sivir could spell shield here. What's the rest of the team? Ari? Poppy? I mean, yeah, it actually wouldn't be a bad Leandry's MF game, but that's not the point we're trying to make here. The point is... We assumed this would be a bad Sivir matchup. I think Sivir actually wins this game. We assumed this would be a bad Sivir matchup because the lane dynamics between MF and Sivir seem wildly out of Sivir's favor, but I need to watch how the wave plays out. Like, I need to see what happens. That's, like, barely not a neutral wave for Sivir. That sucks. Because there's actually a strong chance that... Wait, is this no longer... Hold on. I have to make sure I'm not playing DMCA music. It sounded so much like Night in the Woods music that it threw me off. There is a real chance that Sivir hits this breakpoint where she just doesn't have to interact with Misfortune anymore. But even if that's true, that can't be like a favorable matchup, right? Misfortune is expected to generate a small lead from her early game. For sure. Sivir matchups. Good matchups? None. Pretty much. Oh, wait, so... Okay, no, I was about to say, so would that mean, like... We're not doing the uncommon matchups today, so again, I said at the beginning of the stream, we're not looking at like Cho'Gath, Xerath, Vhagar, Karthus, like that sort of thing. I thought for a second watching this, I'm like, okay, so does this mean Sivir's like actually noticeably weak to poke? But Xerath spells can be blocked by Spell Shield. So it's like, this is like a specific Misfortune interaction that just... You're expected to generate a lead. I can't believe you... Like, how does the draft go where you end up having Rakan in this situation? Just remind me, we're at, Yeah, we're at 6 minutes into this game. There's no shot you pick Rakan into Karma like this. No way! This is so fucked! You're just giving over the lane. Surely, like, any sustain is better than this. Good Lulu pick. Well, okay, so I would assume Elementalists are looking at this and they're saying, like, okay, like there must be something about how they like to play the game. Well, Yumi's banned. There must be something about how they like to play the game where they're like, we need a pure initiator to go alongside our Poppy. Otherwise, we're going to struggle into their range, into their team fight. Which, sure, I can see it. It's not like you have a Wukong follow-up to your Gangplank ultimate, you have a Poppy follow-up. So, like, this is a clear decision to sacrifice the lane in exchange for a better mid-game. Okay, Rakan can't be the worst if you're looking for sustain and initiation, because he's kind of like the only one who has that. Tarek can't play. Yeah, I would assume you would want Lulu in, like, a different draft. Even that draft, like, you could justify it, maybe, if you had, I mean, okay, did they have access to Lissandra? Yeah, they had Lissandra. You could, I would rather, like, I would rather put Lissandra in a harder situation than Sivir. I don't know exactly how Lissandra Orianna goes, but, like, yes, Orianna should outrange that, which means it should be a harder Lissandra matchup, but, like, we've seen in recent patches how resistant Lissandra is to her bad matchups, so that probably would have been the way to round it out, like Lulu Lissandra. Although, actually, hold on, who was the last pick? Was Mid the last pick? Mid was the last pick. So I guess in that case you'd be worried. No, but you're not worried about Azir. Azir's banned. Corki's banned. Like, it's like literal worst case scenario is like Victor or something. If you pick Lissandra. Okay, whatever. That's not the point of today. That's not the point. We have to accelerate this. We're going to speed it up. We're going back to 6 minutes. We are just going to watch ahead to... We're going to watch ahead to when Sivir gets, like, Noon Quiver. See what happens to the wave at that point. Because as it stands right now, like, yeah. Sivir's not having a good time. And I'm actually surprised that... I guess they have to let off the pressure if they're playing for Drake. Hang on, is this a 12-11 Cloud Drake? 12-11, 12-12, something like that? Like, you know, the highest DPS one that you never take before, like, 8-9 minutes? Yeah, we equated her to Victor earlier today. It's much better than it used to be, at least. Like, God, I do not miss 110 mana Qs. That sucked. Oh, they just get... When do they see Poppy? Oh, Karma is playing so disrespectfully here. Look at this. Rakan starts moving up. Ah, I guess it's only a moment. She takes a back step and... Yeah, okay. Still, I mean, that's something that a player of my caliber would die to, not something that top-level players should be dying to. I know this is probably like... this is an ERL, right? So it's not like top-level. It was a good GP ult. It kind of screams like a failure to track Poppy, though. By the way, we're waiting for Sivir. Sivir has her Noon. This is the point of the game where we expect Sivir's shove to kind of ramp up to 11 now, after what we've seen in the previous VODs from today. Is that one slow, one fast that she's doing down there? I'm trying to watch on the minimap. Because it almost looked like she was trying to hold a freeze position, but... Oh, she was! She was trying to hold a freeze. It's Leandri's misfortune. And then she just melts this and... Okay, so, I mean, the way Misfortune and Karma played this out, they don't have a CS lead, but we saw the potential for them to generate one. They kind of just gave it up from playing for Drake. They gave up the lead to attempt an objective. It wasn't the right call, but it shows that Misfortune's expected to generate the leads. I think if something doesn't change, like, fast on Sivir's Mythic with how the waves play out, I think we just immediately say this is unfavorable. Like, I can't imagine a support matchup changing this one too much. Leandri's... Well, this is the wrong sequence. If you're going to go Leandri's Misfortune, you're supposed to build, like, Monamune Leandri's. But this is the kind of build you go when you're a Misfortune who is never expected to... You're not expected to auto-attack ever. Like, she's not auto-attacking a Poppy or a Gangplank or an Ahri, right? You're not expected to auto-attack ever. And you're not even really Q-poking. Oh, okay, no, sorry. No, that's not correct. That's not correct. Lethality for the pure Wombo. Kraken sort of builds, Kraken BT builds for, like, if you're allowed to auto-attack. But, like... Misfortune's team doesn't have a Wombo. She's not really allowed to auto-attack. She's playing for her lane dynamics. So in that case, like, if her other two builds wouldn't actually do too much in the mid-game, so she has to go, like, Monamune Leandri's. That's the way I understand it. Rakan flashes to save his AD carry. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine how this would play out with another support. And even then, like, there's just absolutely no incentive for Misfortune to do anything but Emax into Sivir. So, like, even if you were on a lethality build, it'd be, like, 3E into Q. And then you just win lane anyway. Sivir has no winning spell shield interactions. Except Q. Like, you can... So I shouldn't say no winning. She has few winning interactions. She doesn't have interactions that, like... She doesn't have interactions that, like, significantly swing the game. Because Misfortune always has the means to... Yeah, look at that. Sivir's just out of the fight. God, that's disgusting. Okay, yeah, and then there's a team gap. I think, so, yeah, Sivir does end up winning this game. Alright, if I cut forward. So what do we say? This is obviously not an unplayable matchup for Sivir, because Sivir's the kind of champion who, if you pick her in the right slot, will have some kind of unique value, right? You can still sack your Sivir's lane in a 1-3-1. Like, imagine the enemy's drafted a Wombo, your Misfortune, and you could still choose to pick Sivir and pull their Wombo apart for a 1-3-1 comp. Your bot lane won't win, but if you have a winning top lane, that still seems like something that's fine to do. So clearly this isn't an unplayable matchup. Let's just start writing stuff down. We've seen enough here. Misfortune. Okay. Sivir can block Misfortune's Q, but not her E or R. Both of which are more impactful laning spells. I mean, if Misfortune screws up and goes for, like, an auto-attack build, then I think Sivir can actually compete with this. Yeah. Value in this matchup. Specifically when placed in a 1-3 comp built to pull apart MF's Wombo. Because I can't imagine how Sivir... Okay, yeah. if Miss Fortune is itemizing properly, she never has to play into Sivir's threat range. If MF is trading AAs, then the MU becomes much more playable for Sivir. Sivir can block Jin W. Capable of blocking any of Jin... Oh my fucking god, I wrote... Thank you. That's such a bad typo. Thank you for catching that. We just had a full conversation about that matchup. Oh my god. Okay. I think, I mean, is this ever expected to go in Sivir's direction? No. Miss Fortune's always expected to generate a lead, so then immediately that becomes an unfavorable matchup. So we put Miss Fortune here. Not hard. We put Miss Fortune here. It's not like as bad as Twitch, but it's still pretty bad. Like, Twitch is probably the closest Sivir gets to an unplayable matchup. But, like, Team Gap can swing that. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna declare this one unfavorable. Who next? Who do we want to see? Jesus Christ, I spend a lot of time on these. We want to do Kaisa? Yeah, okay, let's do Kaisa. Let's do Kaisa. Do we have... First of all, do we have a Kaisa here? I doubt it. I doubt we have a Kaisa on 12-13 into Sivir, like in this meta. Kaisa's partners are harder to come by. Ooh, someone played Karma. Ooh. I haven't seen that one in a... Yeah, I haven't... Okay, for some reason I thought this was Karma's build, but I haven't seen that one in a while. There's no Kaisas here in the last 50 for pro play, so we have to use some solo queue footage. Sivir Kaisa. We'll see what we can get our hands on. Close the Ultraliga. That was a terrible accent. Sivir Sona versus Kaisa Nautilus. Oof. Sivir Galio. Oh, but this is 11-3. Oh, this is old Sivir. Do we have a newer one? Do we have a 12-13? Yes, that's from Kaisa's POV. That's an 11-17. 11-2. 12-3. Oh, we're not... We might have to pure theorycraft this one, guys. Because this is, again, from Kaisa's perspective. Sona. Oh, it's from Sona's POV, but you get the Sivir Kaisa matchup on 11-11. Okay, so yeah, the one thing we need to know right away is how Icathian Rain interacts with spell shields. We started talking about this matchup earlier for just a moment. Here we go. It does only block one bullet. Ah, that's what we were afraid of. So that sucks. That's really bad for Sivir. You can block Void Seeker. But, okay, let's just remember how Plasma works exactly. Attacks applied, Plasma stacks applied by Kaisa's basic attacks. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Kaisa's basic attacks on hits, and Void Seeker applies stacks of Plasma. Immobilizing effect, okay, so it has to land. So yes, Sivir Spell Shield would technically prevent a stack of Plasma from being applied. As long as it comes from, like, Sivir or Kaisa's support. So it's like a Leona E being spell shielded would not apply Plasma. So that's very similar to the Jin interactions. But goddamn, that Icathian Rain interaction is bad. Spell shields. Dangerous. So in theory, somehow Kaisa could get close to you. If Kaisa does manage to ambush you, Kaisa should be... You mean completing the stack, the passive stack? Yeah, I know, I know. Okay, that makes sense. You can't block an auto attack. Makes perfect sense. So in theory, Kaisa could set up a situation where her support, like she's if she's cheesing from a bush, if she's just camping a bush, then she could sync up her Acathian Rain with her support CC so that one bullet of Q gets blocked by Sivir's spell shield on reaction, or Sivir just fails the spell shield. It's win-win. If Sivir had a difficult Vayne matchup because there's a chance of just being run down and Sivir's ultimate is less powerful than it was before, then I also can't imagine this one being amazing. Unless Sivir can completely avoid interaction with Kaisa like she kind of can with Kalista. So now we have to figure out if that's true. Yeah, that's it. Vayne Q beats Sivir Q. Sivir E beats Vayne E. Silver Bolt's outdamage Ricochet passive. And Vayne's move speed steroid is just better than Sivir's. So. Yeah, so once again, we're in a position where Sivir has, like, no winning interactions. So it's not an easy matchup, but it still might be a fine matchup if she's able to just avoid interaction. Like, because stuff like that is the only reason why Kalista is only a hard matchup rather than an unfavorable one. Also, because we defined how this one can swing in either direction, right? It was almost a support matchup, actually. Kaisa has 0 range, so does Vayne. But it takes one killer instinct. It takes just one killer instinct, and you're boned. But that's not as bad as Vayne's passive, because it's easier to avoid plasma. Aha! Aha! Let's watch some outdated footage, now that we've theory crafted that. I think it should still be possible to gain value from this. Now that we've kind of, like, made our own opinions. God, this champion used to suck. I was so stubborn about Sivir being the worst AD carry in the game for many patches. So, does this make it a hard matchup, or a skill matchup, or a support matchup? Because, like, Kaisa doesn't get follow-up if you have only one CC. It'd be, like, really good in the rel. Would be. Leona makes it somewhat playable for Kaisa. It's just Leona can't open with R, so it's hard. Nautilus definitely sounds like he makes it playable. Like, you spell shield his hook. Oh no, you spell shield his hook and he's not in auto range, right? That's how that works? It's so funny how many Sivir matchups are just, she doesn't win any interactions, but she doesn't have to. Unless this guy's just chasing. Best Sivir EU West. Wow, a Sivir one trick! That's a rare breed. Is it just me, or are there very few 80 carry one tricks, unless it's for a champion like Draven, Samira, Vayne? Maybe Kalista. Okay, so, I mean, this lane so far has just been a lot of messy trading. It is old Sivir, too, so she's going to be a lot worse at direct combat. What did Kaisa do to get her health bar that low? I kind of zoned out. She just lost a trade to Sona's W power chord. Yeah. Okay, I don't know how much value this replay is going to give us. Although, actually... No, this guy's is just too gung-ho. She keeps forcing in waves. Okay. So I mean, let's just start our notes, right? Sivir has few winning interactions into Kaisa, but is capable of avoiding them completely. Spell Shield blocks only one Icathian Rain missile. Spell Shield does block Void Seeker, which prevents long range plasma application, denying ultimate follow-up. Oops. Kaisa's limited range makes her very support dependent for plasma. Oops. I'm just capitalizing it because it's a specific named effect. Makes her very support dependent for plasma. Which has to mean something for how this matchup plays out. Because I struggle to list this even. But in a 1v1 it is. Like, the onus is on Sivir to make a mistake. Like, it would be even because neither champion can generate a lead, but Kaisa is not screwed from not generating a lead like that. If Kaisa is okay, if you're playing Kaisa Sona, like, I don't I don't know what to tell you at that point. Yes, it does. I'm gonna give that one a question mark just because I haven't seen it in action yet, so I don't want to like commit to it. What support matchups would swing this? Ooh, wait a minute. Can't type. It feels so weird to be labeling Alistar as an initiator like that, but... I almost want to say it is just another support matchup. Because, like, it's arguably here. And it's probably why we don't see Kaisa at all in this list. Because, like, that's not winning. That's not winning. What a weird champion this is. She's such an effective neutralizer. That's not winning. But is it like... Oh my god, okay. Because, like, if we go further down the rabbit hole, it's like, okay, I have Alistar. Now Sivir has, like... Maybe Sivir has Galio, and that's, like, one of the few good Galio spots. Maybe Sivir has... Actually, it doesn't even sound like a bad Maokai spot, if I'm being honest. Tarek? Maybe? Lulu? Renata? I think I kind of want to label this even. I think you can put it hard in a 1v. Well, yeah. I mean, we also need to just think about how... We have to consider the 1v1, but that can't be everything we consider in the matchup. Right? It's... Because we can't even say Kai'Sa wins the 1v1 because the 1v1 never happens. That's not real. Okay, those are two separate facts. We can say Kai'Sa wins the 1v1, but it doesn't swing the matchup because the 1v1 never happens. Unless, of course, the support griefs, leaves the lane while it's pushing in, Kai'Sa gets a freeze, Sivir's doomed. You know, in like situations like that, of course. Hard would be like... Yeah, hard would be a matchup that can swing in either direction, but one champion can make more mistakes than others. I just think in a typical 2v2 lane phase, it's so hard for that situation to ever come up. That's kind of why I want to label it even. Because even, like, the anti-Sivir initiators have... Like, there are means to fight back. Because actually, does just having favorable interactions mean that Kai'Sa wins? Kai'Sa can land her abilities, but Icathian Rain still has the same counterplay that it always does. Of fighting in the wave. And if that's true, then Sivir is the better attack speed steroid in the early game. Sivir actually out DPS's. Kai'Sa outbursts. I don't want to say it's a skill matchup, but maybe it does swing harder than we think. Like... Yeah, that would be amazing. Yes, it is. I think I'm too deep in the rabbit hole on this one, and I think I'm overthinking it. I mean, this is only 12-14 data, right? Let's go back to 12-13 data. That's almost dead even with a lot of games played on this patch. In terms of matchup delta, Sivir's a stronger champion right now. That's almost dead even in delta. If the champions are balanced, they should be. Yeah, so then it's just, is this an even matchup or a skill matchup? This is a weird one. Oh, this is a weird one. It's a puzzle. This is why no one does this, by the way, because it takes so long for each matchup. So if it's a skill matchup, then the matchup can swing in either direction. I feel like this lane is really consistently stable. No, because Kai'Sa's team should... I mean, no, actually, what did we just see over here, remember? We just saw them scrapping. And this is old Sivir with worse combat power. Actually, both AD carries are empowered by not fighting in minions. That's not true. That's not true at all. Sivir's empowered by fighting in minions, but if her Q hits a close range Kai'Sa, it does full damage. You see how sometimes I just think without, or I speak without thinking? Yeah, Sivir doesn't want to fight in the wave. Small wave. Yeah. I think I'll agree with you short term. While the matchup is consistently... Yeah, actually, no, that has to mean it's a support matchup then. It swings based on support interactions, right? While the matchup is consistently stable. Yeah, that's probably it. And see, that whole "it depends" thing means this is a matchup that neither champion should be like too unhappy being in. I mean, I think Kai'Sa is actually a little less happy being in it than Sivir because Kai'Sa has to work harder, but... Okay. That's a weird one. I mean, I really can't classify it as support or skill or like... Because it's kind of all of them. It's kind of every tier of even matchup. It's even, it's skill, it's support, like... Okay. I'm gonna take a rest for a moment. I need to refresh my brain, get some water. We've been through a number of matchups in depth. And I know I said we wouldn't get anywhere near, like, through this list today, but we've only done 5 in 2 hours. Okay, I need to stretch. I'll be right back. I don't have too much longer to study today. Probably only have like another hour at most. Sweet. I left my water bottle at the rock climbing gym. My first time using it. My friend just picked it up. He messaged me. Perfect. But yeah, the first time I go to work out in like, oh my god, over a year. And I immediately lose my water bottle. How sad is that? Maybe I refine my definition of a support matchup. I've changed my mind again, guys. I've changed my mind. Kaisa Sivir is a skill matchup. I've changed my mind. It's not like the better AD carry will win, it's the better bot lane will win. That's how it works. Yeah, that's how I needed to resolve that in my head. Because support means it swings based on the support matchup, right? But that's not necessarily how this one works. Because like the matchups that Kaisa needs to beat Sivir's spell shield are, you know, not always super, like, you know, you can't just slam a Leona and then expect you have a good matchup. It doesn't mean, okay, whatever. We'll leave it at skill. I don't want to overthink this one for much longer. I guess Ashe is probably a good one to look into at some point. Because Sivir has a very, very obviously good spell shield interaction there. And then it just comes down to the auto attacks. You're addicted to multiverses? It's that good, huh? I'll probably give it a try at some point. I'm supposed to have Hollow Knight tomorrow and a meme stream on Tuesday, but maybe at some point after that. I have to just sit down and write the script for my magic damage video, though. I did like a deep dive, a long study on just how to draft magic damage. And I finally like figured out the last piece of the puzzle that I was missing. So now I can make a video. Oh my god, look at this comp. Nasus Belveth. Into Brawlhalla. I have a friend who was into Brawlhalla. I heard it was a good game. Rivals of Aether is something I wish I got into more. That one's fun. But I like it. It gained popularity right as I was getting out of Smash Bros. So I didn't end up playing. Mel, thank you so much for the tier 1. I really appreciate it. 15 months. That's very generous of you. Welcome back to the Quinnicate. What's happening? Not too much. We're studying Sivir matchups right now. We've done 5 of them in 2 hours. I was thinking of starting on Ashe next. You slept all damn day. Hey, I've had too many days like that this year. You just have to roll with it, right? Technically nothing wrong with it. You just need to double check what you're doing to your body. So, I woke up at 10 o'clock today. Huge step up for me. Is it just Ashe? Do we just do Ashe? Yeah. And obviously, we're not going to see a lot of Ashe in, like, the last 50 of Pro Play. Eating less, going to the gym 4 times a week. That's good! Oh, and if you're going to the gym that much, you're probably just physically exhausted. That's probably it. So, in that case, sleeping all day. Kind of pog. Okay, let's see recap after this Ashe thing. You can obviously block Volley, and, very importantly, you can block Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Very good. Especially since the entire reason you want to pick Ashe is her utility. So, then it comes down to the auto attacks, though, because Ashe has 100 range on Sivir, applies Frost Shot, you cannot spell shield Frost Shot, I don't know if Fleet of Foot actually beats out Frost Shot, but I would assume it doesn't. Still tired, but you gotta get moving because you have to go to the gym tonight. I respect that. You're on the grind. It's good for you, Mel. Good for you taking care of your health. If you block W, you get ulted. If you block alt, you get W. So, yeah. So, this really good... Jesus Christ. Why does Sivir, like, lose the matchups where she has good interactions and win the matchups where she has bad interactions with Spell Shield? Spell Shield is really not as matchup defining as we started to think, huh? That's so cringe. Yeah, 100 auto attack range is big. Your passive, Sivir's passive is not better than Ashe's passive when they're in combat with each other. Ashe has noticeably worse wave clear than Sivir. It's hard to beat Sivir's wave clear. So if Sivir plays behind the minions, and if Sivir holds her spell shield for ultimate, then she should generally be okay. They're monsters when you fight them, and they're awful when you're playing. Yeah, they're both pretty poor at fighting or like forcing fights in early lane. But Ashe is all set up for her support, or her jungler. Could be jungler too. Sivir just wants to sit there and farm. Like that's pretty. They're both good at punishing mistakes, is what I'm getting at. They're not proactive, but they're good at punishing. Dude, I'm remembering this one scrim where I was filling in. I was substituting for my team. Was it? Did we? Oh, I can't remember if we actually got the matchup. Either way, we were playing with Ashe Karthus lanes. Long time ago. Somebody had the audacity to blind pick Brahmin to me. I said, hell no. I'm playing Karthus. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's like... That's kind of what's happening to me on Talia support, too. Like, I play Talia, and I'm just trying to play her, like, pre-rework Talia too much, so I'm trying to go way too aggro, and I'm like, I just need to chill. I just need to play for my 80 carries push. I need to scale. Like, it's so easy to just, like, get that urge to go aggressive. Try to trade. I'm like, I'm a ranged support. I'm going to trade. I'm going to win the 2v2. God damn it. Also, the Astro Brain way to optimize Ashe is like Rumble support, brand support. Zyra is the historical one. So this is another matchup where Sivir's good. I mean, I think Sivir actually should... It sounds like a +1. It sounds like a +1 to me. It can swing in either direction. Does Talia E affect not Q? Yes, it does. I already talked for Prisma to run again. Yes, so Talia will get CC'd, but Nautilus will get stunned. Actually, on pre-rework Talia, I used to love landing into Thresh because there was like a suicide trade you can do consistently. Thresh channels his Q. As soon as he starts the hook windup, you full combo him, you will eat the hook, but you will like 100-0 him while doing it. I loved doing that. Talia doesn't have nearly that much burst anymore though. So. There's too many mage support players who just get into lane and they're like, it's my job to 1v9. It's like, no, bitch, it's your job to be a support that has damage. You played Ziggs bot Rumble support? Yeah, the last time I played it, it was a Seraphine Rumble lane. Because I wanted to play Nasus, but my AD carry wanted to play a Magic champion. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't, like, Nasus does nothing for a Magic champion, so. Rumble has an MR shred. I'll play that. Like, yeah, I may play off-meta picks sometimes, pretty often, but I don't grief when I lock them in. Like, I lock them in good spots for them. So. Unless I'm in norms and I'm practicing, in which case, I'm sorry to all my teammates who encountered my Silas support. Okay, is this skill or even? Yeah, when I was burned out, I used to I mean I used to load in norms with my friends, and then it's frustrating because I'm like 2 or even 3 sometimes divisions higher than them. And I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Like, I'm trying to tell you what to do and stuff, but like I'm not. You know, I'm just being a bad teammate. I'm getting mad. Now that I've taken a break and calmed myself down like a little bit, just remembered what's important in life, I can play norms a lot more easily now. Well, a skill matchup means it can swing wildly in either direction. It means Ashe can come out of this lane with a huge lead, and Sivir can come out of this lane with a huge lead. It depends on execution. You block her R, you can ult and run. I mean, it's not even that useful, though, just to ult in. Current Sivir R. It's definitely not neutral. Definitely not like an even thing. It just takes one mistake and it's blown open, right? In theory, any lane can end 0-0-0. Somebody just has to work harder. So Sivir has to permanently play around minions. And if she screws up that tracking the jungler, she will die to Ashe. Ashe is not naturally favored because, like, Sivir has the winning interactions. Sivir's winning interactions, but Sivir can't consistently kill. Can she? Sivir doesn't have set up for her jungler the same way that Ashe does. On the hunt move speed is only like 20% now. But a lane where nothing happens favors Sivir. Yep. A lane there nothing happens favors Sivir in this matchup. Yep, okay. So it technically means that if things get out, if things progress and they're even, then Sivir's ahead. So yes, this is a skill matchup. Correct. When I get a PlayStation 2 version, I still have my childhood PS2. It's a PS2 Slim. I'm so glad I never got rid of it, because my mom actually asked me like a long time ago when I was like 12 if I wanted to sell it because we had a Wii, and I said no, absolutely not. Okay. Sivir spell shield nullifies Ashe's arrow, reducing her pressure. If Ashe lands frost shots, Sivir can be run down trivially. Sivir must therefore play around minions and play behind minions and clear waves from beyond Ashe's AA range. Sivir can be threatened by Ashe's team, but also heavily outdamages Ashe after lane phase. While Sivir has many ways in which she can die, she also has counterplay and is favored in the neutral lane. Does it work? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. My PS2 works. My N64 works. My Xbox, I had to repair, but it works. I bought an original Xbox a few years back. Had to fix the disk drive. Yeah, I used to love, like, collecting consoles. You could find them really cheap at secondhand stores. Yeah, I think we have to label it like that. So where are the even matchups? We expected more even. Maybe we just haven't gotten to them. Yeah, if both champions have good interactions into each other, then it's probably going to be a skill matchup. I have a system ID for the emulator to work. Oh, really? That's scuffed. Maybe like 1 or 2 more for today. Okay, going back to Varus, I guess. So do Sivir and Varus have favorable interactions into each other, like Sivir and Ashe do? Sivir can block any of Varus' skill shots, but she's not allowed to block any of them except for R, unless she's out of range of R and is just running away from a Q. Okay, so I mean, it starts the same way as a Jhin. Sivir has excellent quality spell shields, capable of blocking... Oh my god, I can't type. Any of Varus's abilities. Post 6, she always has to hold it for R. Varus has superior range, but unfortunately, as we talked about at the very beginning of stream, we're pretty confident that Sivir's Ricochet passive provides similar value to Varus's passive, so Varus doesn't even get the stat advantage that he would normally get against other hyper carries. Varus's wave clear is poor relative to Sivir's. Sivir won't kill Varus. She shouldn't, right? Sivir shouldn't kill Varus? $12-3. 12-5, 12-2, 11... Oh, I already started watching this one. At the very beginning, I forgot about this one. I actually want to skip this ahead to level 6. Actually, Sivir has killed Varus. Hold on, what happened? With jungle interference? When did Varus die? Oh no, that was a raw 2v2. What happened here? They're level 2. Oh, Janna OP, and then the Twitch support has absolutely no peel. Yeah, Janna just landed a raw. Okay, that's a support matchup. I mean, obviously, if you catch Varus with anything, anyone can kill him. Yes, but Sivir in the one... yeah, Sivir's in general super reliant on her support to actually get in for combat. Otherwise, she's just going to neutralize forever. And if you neutralize forever, since Varus still can't catch you at any point in the game, then that doesn't mean... Yeah, Varus's free scaling can't matter as much as, like, Twitch's. And even so, Varus and free scaling are never words that go together. Varus has to work. Varus' support needs to do so much to save his ass. That champion's more vulnerable than Kog'Maw. I'm just waiting for level 6. I'm gonna say +1. I'm gonna say +1 here. Sivir's Ricochet passive matches Varus's passive strength. Actually, does it? Does it match or exceed? Let's get the numbers. Let's get the numbers on this. I mean, Sivir also has an auto reset you have to factor in. It exceeds. Exceeds Varus's passive strength, removing that advantage. It can go either direction. Teammate interference can cause this matchup to swing in either direction, but neither should kill the other in isolation. And Sivir has all of the agency. So that's a +1. Actually, is that +1 or is that just pure favorable? What does +1 mean? +1 is the opposite of hard. It means that you're the champion who doesn't have to work as hard, but it can go either direction. So, actually, no. This is kind of just favorable at this point. Varus just has a hard matchup. So like if I put yeah, so it's like right, Sivir Kalista, right? Sivir Kalista can go in either direction, but Sivir has it's on Sivir has more ways to make a mistake than Kalista does. It probably is just favorable at this point because like I'm thinking of like yeah, support interactions can swing this. Like if either champion is caught, they can be killed, I guess. But like Sivir just removes Varus' ability to play the game, for much of it. But then we also have to factor in team fights, I guess. And Varus is more expensive there. Hi, Karibo. Good to see you. So basically, is Sivir into Varus as bad for Varus as Sivir into Misfortune is for Sivir? Is Sivir actually getting leads consistently? Or is she just going even because Varus can't do anything? I think it's +1. I don't think Sivir's actually getting a lead. She's just nullifying Varus and has better tools into him. I just have trouble putting a lot of faith into Sivir Ultimate these days. I don't think this ability is actually that good. For its movement speed anymore, at least. Like, this is definitely not the core part of Sivir's kit, it's just a steroid. It used to be. Basic attacks against... yeah, this... All of the power of this ability is concentrated into the end game attack speed cooldown refund. I guess that has to matter at least a little bit, right? I think it's a +1. I don't think either of them, like... I think it just chokes out Varus's... yeah, it chokes out Varus and makes him unhappy. He's not having a great time, but... Sivir doesn't run away with the game either. Let me check. Oh yeah, I did get a text. I'm taking care of the house this weekend. Everyone else is gone, so I'm just... Okay, we probably only have time for one or two more before I have to stop and make dinner. 'Cause I'm hungry and I need to rest. My brain can only go for so long. So is it? Do we do Jinx? Do we do... I mean, I'm curious about Caitlyn at some point. Because Caitlyn was the kind of thing where it's like, before you know how Sivir works, it sounds like Sivir wins, but then... it's starting to sound more like an even matchup. But Caitlyn's not something I'm going to have to, like, worry about immediately in the short term. We started talking about Trist for a moment. Maybe it is Kate. Maybe we do just do Kate. Yeah, screw it. I'm interested in Kate right now. We are not seeing Caitlyn in coordinated play. Actually, Caitlyn is not showing her face here at some point. Like, at any point in these 50 games. I can guarantee that. 12-13, Caitlyn Morgana, Sivir Pike. Caitlyn's the one who gets ahead. This is unfortunately a 12-1, which isn't, like, exactly what I want. It's not actually remotely what I want, because that's not. 12-4. 8-8! We're gonna have to figure this out again. I mean, I'll put this on in the background for... Nah, I'll just go back here. Okay, so what happens with Caitlyn? For the first, like, 6 or so levels, Caitlyn should just be able to shove pretty uninhibited. Sivir has good spell shields. If she steps on a trap while spell shielded, she still gets headshot, right? That's how that works? Is it? No. Is it? For some reason I remember that interaction. I need to double check it. While it's fresh on my mind, I just need to make sure I know how Yordle Snapchat... Or Snapchat. Jesus Christ. Yordle Snapchat. Spell shield fully blocked. Can she block R? Yes! Yes, she can. Spell shield blocked. She can block net. I mean, like, what are the interactions? Actually, hold on for a second. I'm gonna check my friends list. I got no one online for a test. Wait, but they haven't changed the interaction. I can just watch one of these Sivir Caitlyn videos. Regardless of what patch it is. I'm trying to remember what the interaction was. There is something in the game... Oops, sorry. There is something in the game where you nullify Caitlyn's trap and still get headshot, and I'm trying to remember what that is. Alright, immediate chaos. I'm just watching for the interaction. Oh, this is the old lethality Sivir too. Blech. It's E. Is it E? I want to watch them fighting. I'd love to test that. But I need 2 people for that in practice duel. Okay, this is not a helpful game to watch. This is just a fiesta in the bot lane. Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna watch this from Caitlyn's POV. That might help us. Caitlyn already has an assist. Sivir's already dead. Sivir's already dead here. Sivir died here. Okay, how did Sivir die? Just killed by Kindred. Just run down. Caitlyn never gets an assist. Okay. Come on, the interaction's here somewhere. It's Morg Black Shield that I'm thinking of. No, it's all Black Shield interactions with Caitlyn's headshot abilities. As you walk on the trap, you can still get headshot because it only nullifies the CC, not the spell. It's Black Shield I'm thinking of. Ah. I was watching that. It just hit me. Okay, so that means Sivir's going to completely delete a trap. So Sivir disrupts Caitlyn's combo potential, which is really bad for Caitlyn. That said, Caitlyn doesn't need to rely entirely on her combos. She can also just perma-shove you, get an advantage from your turret plates, play aggro that way. I don't think, if we're equating Sivir to Victor, I don't think Sivir can stand up to that push in the early game. But Sivir is definitely not something that rolls over and dies against Caitlyn. And a Caitlyn without a lead is meaningfully weaker than a Caitlyn without one. Wait, a Caitlyn then a Caitlyn with one. You know what I meant. You know what I meant to say. If Caitlyn's not snowballing, the champion is just noticeably worse. Caitlyn is reliant on her snowball. So if Sivir loses for a small period of time and gives Caitlyn like 1 plate, and then can fight back against her shove, because she has Noon Quiver, because her abilities are coming online, 3 points Q, doesn't just roll over. That actually makes this sound like a pretty Sivir favored matchup. That said, the 150 auto attack range difference has to matter somewhere. It has to matter somewhere. But is that enough to stop Sivir from walking up and counter pushing? Sivir has high quality spell shields that fully disrupt Caitlyn's combo game. Traps, Q, all abilities blocked. Countered by Sivir's passive. If you manage to get in, then yeah, the auto attack range doesn't matter. And your passive plus ultimate. This is one situation where I think the ultimate's actually useful. The passive plus ultimate should always beat Sivir or Caitlyn E if you're in. Where the attack range would matter for Caitlyn's favor would just be in shove dynamics. Actually, let's check the win rate delta. Are we on 12-13? We are. So that has a... Actually, let's go 30 days. Caitlyn. In solo queue, at least it's pretty even, but Caitlyn lanes also kind of go sicko mode in solo queue. They either go 10-0 or 0-10. God damn, Sivir's win rates are high. These are despicable win rates. Like, because I'm not even looking at the numbers, I'm usually just looking at the deltas, but 54, 52, 53, 54, 55 into Ezreal. Okay, before we have data, the only thing that would give Caitlyn agency in this matchup is if after Sivir's Noon Quiver comes online, she can still harass Sivir away from No, because that doesn't... No, because that... Even if Sivir never has push. Even if Sivir never has push, her wave clear denies Caitlyn's potential plate advantage post Noon Quiver. Oh, this matchup is fucked for Caitlyn. Yeah. This matchup's fucked for Caitlyn. Because that's the only thing I was concerned about where the range advantage would matter. But Sivir doesn't have to get the push. Sivir should have push, though. Possibly. But even if she doesn't, she wins. Like, that's all we care about right now. Even if worst case scenario, Caitlyn consistently has push, Caitlyn still doesn't get her advantage. And if Caitlyn doesn't get her advantage, then Caitlyn loses her value as a champion. So Sivir answers Caitlyn excellently. Caitlyn should be expected to shove until around first base. Caitlyn should be expected to always win shove until around first base. Even if Sivir never has shove, we're good. If Sivir does have shove, we're even better. Sivir can only lose if she blunders, or no, if she plays too impatiently, eating auto attacks from Caitlyn's 150 range advantage. That is a bad matchup in coordinated play if you're like drafting for it. No, just straight up. It has to be. I don't know how it's so low in solo queue except for like... Same reason that Collector has a much higher win rate in solo queue than LDR. People just fight. And if people are just fighting, then Sivir's not playing to her win condition. So that probably explains this number. Well. It's almost 6 o'clock now. I'm starving. I might have a scrim tonight that I have to prepare for, and I also need to rest. Collector is so dog shit. Collector has its place. Trash is a finished item, but it has its place. You should buy it in like 1 out of 10 games, if that. It's like you only build it so you can go that serrated Dirk Rush strat on like Samira, Neela, Kaisa. That's pretty much it. It's that, or if you've somehow found yourself in a situation where it's a third Drake fight, this Drake already decides the game, and you can't afford Last Whisper. So you have to build serrated Dirk. Like that's it. Or, of course, you're doing crit pivot, where you're running Eclipse Collector, then LDR, and then you have both. You know, so it has its place. It's over-purchased, but it's also overhated. It's not good, but it's not bad. That's my take on it. I think that has to be it for today. It was fun to get a research stream in again. I'm going to save this list. We can rebuild it for later. We can maybe pick this back up on a later date. If you guys want to keep doing Sivir matchups on stream, we can. Because I have to change my time around a little bit, I probably don't have as much time to research off stream, so you will probably see me doing this a little more often. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll finish this up at some point. Maybe we'll aim for Wednesday or Thursday. Something like that. Because I do have to start working on my videos. Okay. Oops. I'm going to raid Sean. I'm going to send you guys over there. I'm going to be streaming with him in a few days, so may as well send you all over. Okay, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to love yourselves, respect each other. I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.